Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at several cases of police misconduct, including an incident where a negligent officer tased a fleeing suspect on an elevated surface against departmental policies, resulting in the man's permanent paralysis from the neck down. On October 19, 2019, an Oregon State police trooper reportedly observed a woman cycling on the incorrect side of the street, prompting him to conduct a traffic stop. The cyclist, Genesis Hansen, a 21-year-old black student at Oregon State University, challenged the trooper by questioning the justification for the stop and the legality of his commands. The entire encounter was recorded on the body camera worn by the OSP trooper.
Love to give me information. I'd be more than happy to read it, and then we could go through it politely like you mentioned.
We are going through it politely, but you're not complying with a lawful order.
No, I think I just asked for you to provide me information on that order, and you haven't provided me information, and you're taking that as me not following the order. All I'm asking is for you to maybe pull up the website or show me the legislation that says that I have to provide my information in this case.
Okay.
At this stage, Ms. Hansen is requesting the trooper to present the specific legal statute that mandates her to show identification under these circumstances. Unfortunately, the body camera was activated after the initial interaction, missing the part where the trooper informed Ms. Hansen that he intended to issue a warning and then release her. Despite this, he persisted in requesting her ID. This insistence deviates from professional standards and established protocol.
2424. Can you get a CPD unit to roll by my location? Jackson, I think I'm on 16th or 17th. .2424. They can come code 1. This is not a emergency situation. All you guys that are recording, I'm also recording, just so you know. Okay.
Do you know how long it'll take for a unit to come by?
I don't know. I just asked for one, you heard.
No, I know, but did they give an ETA, or do you have an estimate?
They haven't given me an ETA, nope.
You don't have an idea of how quick it takes for your team to respond to things like this?
Nope. I already told you could be rolling down the road by now if you were cooperative.
I am cooperative. I think I'm just asking for information.
You're not cooperative, but
I don't think it's uncooperative to ask for information.
Well.
In this interaction, it's apparent that the officer lacks legal justification for his actions, making it troubling to witness him characterizing Ms. Hansen as uncooperative. Adding to the concerns, the trooper has escalated the situation by calling for backup over a matter that is essentially trivial and could have been resolved swiftly without further complication. Under Oregon law, specifically ORS 807.570, individuals are only required to present their driver's license if they are operating a motor vehicle. It states, a person commits the offense of failure to carry a license or to present a license to a police officer if the person either A. drives any motor vehicle upon a highway in this state without a license, driver permit, or out-of-state license in the person's possession, or B. does not present and deliver such license or permit to a police officer when requested by the police officer under any of the following circumstances. A. Upon being lawfully stopped or detained when driving a vehicle. B. When the vehicle that the person was driving is involved in an accident. Since Miss Hansen was riding a bicycle, the requirement to show identification is not as clear-cut, depending on local ordinances or specific circumstances that the trooper did not substantiate. Furthermore, the act of labeling someone as uncooperative and calling for backup without a substantial reason may infringe upon Miss Hansen's Fourth Amendment rights, which protect against unreasonable searches and seizures. This situation raises questions about the proportionality and necessity of the trooper's response, potentially constituting an abuse of power that should be scrutinized under both state and federal law. Keep watching as another officer arrives on the scene and is caught up in the incident.
Oh, here he is. Hello. I'm well. So I'm out with this citizen on a bicycle stop, but I don't know the citizen's name to tell you because the citizen won't tell me their name. I stopped them for a simple violation, riding the wrong way on the roadway. As you can see, we've attracted a small crowd, so it's not really contentious, but the person's refusing to identify themselves. I don't know if they even have ID because every question that I ask, we go in a circular argument wherein they state I don't answer questions. So it's a minor stop to start with, but it's just where we're at. And I'm recording, so you know, as is half of the...
Okay. So she's refusing to identify herself with the, in relation
in regards
to a traffic stop?
Yes. But not driving a vehicle, so...
I think that there's some alternative facts that you do need to be aware of. He mentioned that I was staying on this side of the road and made the assumption that this middle line of the precinct was the marker of the road. I also mentioned that there weren't any lines on the road, so I think that this is kind of an arbitrary marker. The second thing that I think is important to know is that when I did come on down this road, I will admit, crossing the street, you have to pass this part of the road. But for him to say that I was on this side of the road versus that one, I don't think that that's quite fair. And I think that he's coming up with these facts to assist his story in the way that his perspective is emerging.
Okay. I appreciate that. You do understand this isn't a courtroom, correct?
No, I do.
Okay.
But I do think it's important for me to articulate my positions.
The comments made by the newly arrived officer are not only demeaning and belittling, but also border on being highly inappropriate. It's evident that Miss Hansen feels uneasy with the initial trooper's approach, which arguably infringes upon her civil and constitutional rights. Despite this, when Miss Hansen attempts to explain her perspective, the new officer dismissively undermines her concerns by stating, "You do realize this isn't a courtroom, right?" Such a response is not only dismissive, but also detracts from the seriousness of her legitimate concerns. This behavior by the officer may potentially violate guidelines outlined under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs and activities receiving federal financial assistance. It states, "No person in the United States shall, on the ground of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance." Additionally, the dismissive attitude can be seen as a breach of the principles enshrined in the First Amendment, which protects the right to free speech. Miss Hansen's attempt to discuss her legal rights and the basis for the stop should be respected rather than trivialized. The First Amendment states, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." The First Amendment states, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." Law enforcement officers are expected to uphold these rights and provide clear, respectful communication, especially when an individual is questioning the legality of their actions.
Okay. Would you be more willing to talk to me than him since I'm here now?
I think that I've been as verbal as I am in this moment.
So earlier she did request another officer, and she did say she would talk to them. I knew that was a ruse. I didn't summon you so that that would happen, because I knew she wouldn't do that. I summoned you kind of to be a witness to this whole circus.
The reason I asked for a different officer was because I asked for him to...
Ma'am, would you mind talking over here so we don't...
Of course,
we can stay out of traffic?
So I was actually asking for him to provide information stating that I had to give my information over on this stop. I also think that the quantifiers for this, what a traffic stop is, I'd like to be able to see that legislation or what kind of ruling it is that says, oh, I'm on this side of the road versus that side of the road, if there's differences between lines on the road, or if this center line that he seems is important in this case. And I also would like to know, do I have to provide my information? And I would like to see that in writing as well.
Okay, so you do, and if that's an awful stop, you do have to provide identification by yourself. So he can hold you here till a time in which, it does identify you, okay? Depending on how things go and the facts of the articulable case in this matter, it can lead into an arrest, and it may not, it could be a violation, or it could be a verbal warning. I don't know. I'm not the stopping officer.
Right, and I suggested, and have already had this conversation a little bit, I said that most likely I'm stopping her with the intent to educate about why it would be dangerous to ride down the opposite side of the roadway, and that if she failed to comply, I could arrest her for obstructing a police officer, obstructing governmental justice.
Is it important for you to know my information in order to educate me on the law?
What effect did it stop this?
Yes, it is. It's required. It's required of you, and it's required of me by my boss.
Do you have something that I can confirm that it's required other than just
So,
saying so?
Yes, I do, but you see, the problem is I have my cell phone, I don't have my law book, and I don't have the department's policies, rules, and procedures. We don't carry that with us. It's computerized, and you, if you received a citation or were arrested, your defense attorney or you yourself, if you're representing yourself, through discovery could request all of that information to support your case and disprove what I, the prosecuting officer, would be alleging. However, it is customary in our society that when a police officer who's clearly identified as such tells you to pull over for a violation, you go along with the program. That is the requirement.
Currently, the trooper suggests that, in our society, when a police officer pulls you over, compliance is generally expected, and that it is a requirement. This statement is misleading as the trooper blurs the lines between societal expectations and legal obligations. Ms. Hansen is rightfully requesting to know the specific law that mandates her compliance in this scenario, yet the trooper appears to conflate social norms with legal requirements. This confusion is problematic, especially given that law enforcement officers are expected to have a clear understanding of the laws they enforce. Under Oregon law, while there is a general expectation for individuals to comply with police instructions during traffic stops, specific laws, such as ORS 810.410, outline the authority of police officers regarding traffic stops. This law stipulates that an officer can stop a vehicle if they believe a traffic violation or a crime has been committed. However, for non-driving related interactions, such as a pedestrian or a bicyclist, the applicability of this statute becomes less clear, and additional justification based on reasonable suspicion of a crime needs to be articulated. It is crucial under Oregon law, while there is a general expectation for individuals to comply with police instructions during traffic stops, specific laws, such as ORS 810.410, outline the authority of police officers regarding traffic stops. This law stipulates that an officer can stop a vehicle if they believe a traffic violation or a crime has been committed. However, for non-driving related interactions, such as a pedestrian or a bicyclist, the applicability of this statute becomes less clear, and additional justification based on reasonable suspicion of a crime needs to be articulated. It is crucial for law enforcement officers to distinguish between what is customarily expected and what is legally required, ensuring that citizens' rights are not infringed upon by vague interpretations of the law. The trooper's duty is to enforce the law with precision and not to rely solely on generalized societal expectations. This ensures both the legality of their actions and upholds the trust placed in them by the public.
You are lawfully required to provide identification, and then the officer gets to decide whether you get a warning, a ticket, or you get arrested if you've committed a crime.
So it seems to me that there's a few issues here. So it seems to me you want to hold me to a law that you can't prove or show me.
You don't know that I can't prove that.
Okay, so all I'm asking is for your logbook. You said you don't have it with you, so how can I even know that what you're telling me is the truth?
I showed you the law on. Okay.
Please let me finish what I have to say.
Go ahead.
You have to understand, people who look like me are often.
What do you look like? You keep saying that. I don't understand what you look like. How do you look any different from me?
Okay, well, I'm an African American mixed woman.
Okay.
I am a petite figure. So I will say that men who are in a police uniform often abuse their power and the rules that they have. All I am asking is for you to show me the rule of this violation that I have. All I have right now for verbal confirmation is for your friend or your colleague and you telling me what the rules are. All I'm asking for is...
We don't even know each other. I've never met this man before.
I'm sorry, from a civilian standpoint, you two are colleagues.
Okay.
So, and he's the one that rolled up to help with the situation.
Because you asked me to call someone, I called someone.
But in any case, I am just asking for some information before I provide my own. I want to see legislation or some rule book saying that I have to give my information.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm not being compliant, and it's not that I'm, not respecting authority, which, I don't. But I think
you're
that
not being
it's
compliant,
important
you're
for
being
you
passive
to...
resistance.
I don't think this is passive resistance. All I'm asking is for you to provide me information, and you're willing to do so. So I don't feel like I have to provide my information.
He does not have to show that either. So if he is, he's doing it out of courtesy just to be calm.
I don't think that your job should have any courtesy. I think kindness should be the principle of your job. I don't think courtesy should be an option.
Well, I have been courteous.
As you should be.
Okay, so we don't need to argue about that because I have been courteous. I'm now looking at the vehicle code. I'll give you the applicable law.
Does it apply to vehicles or does it apply to bicycles?
So Oregon defines bicycles as a vehicle.
Okay.
Most states do.
So do I need a license to be riding this bike?
You do not, but they still in law define it as a vehicle when it's ridden on the roadway, which it was.
Okay.
And that means you have to apply by the vehicle laws, which you were not. And that's why I stopped you. I don't arbitrarily stop people.
The trooper has inaccurately claimed that bicycles are recognized as vehicles in the state of Oregon and most states. This statement is incorrect. Bicycles are not defined as vehicles under any specific law or bill in Oregon or in many other states. This misrepresentation of the facts is not only misleading, but also causes considerable concern regarding the trooper's understanding and communication of the law. Such inaccuracies can significantly affect the legitimacy of enforcement actions and the public's trust in law enforcement.
The reason that you're saying that the rule is what I was violating, but you and I have a difference of even violating the rule. I'm arguing...
Right, and that's why we have court. Like the other officer suggested, that's why we have court. So if at the end of this I gave you a citation and you felt that was wrongfully issued, I don't get the final say.
You don't need my information to give me a warning. You could just say, hey,
well,
citizen,
I don't really want to give you a warning any longer.
I feel like you're
I no
trying
longer
have
wish
power
to give
by
you a warning.
reading my information, and
I
all I'm
wish to
saying
give
is
you a
I'm not willing to
citation
provide
now. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
You're
I
talking
now
over
wish...
me so that I can't hear what you're saying.
All right.
I'm verbalizing and you're trying to talk under me. I wasn't finished with my sentence.
Okay.
You're trying to underscore what I was saying. So no, I didn't hear what you're saying. Please repeat yourself.
I no longer wish to give you a warning. So now I need your identification to give you a citation, because that's what I intend to do.
The trooper has reacted defensively to being corrected about the law and has chosen to escalate the situation with Ms. Hansen, seemingly to assert his authority. It is disappointing to see such behavior, which unfortunately reflects a mindset that can be prevalent among law enforcement officers. The trooper has now decided to escalate the encounter from a mere warning to a full traffic stop, stating his intention to issue Ms. Hansen a citation for allegedly riding her bicycle on the wrong side of the road. Consequently, this has legally detained her, requiring her to provide her ID, which transitions this into an enforceable stop under the guise of a traffic violation. This shift raises concerns about potential underlying motives, possibly aiming to compel Ms. Hansen into a position where failing to provide identification could lead to additional charges, such as violating Oregon's failure to identify statute, ORS 807.570. However, this statute requires individuals to provide their name and date of birth if there is reasonable suspicion of a traffic infraction or a crime being committed. If Ms. Hansen had not initially committed a traffic infraction by Oregon law definitions, this requirement would not lawfully apply, making the stop unjustified. Moreover, if race plays a role in how the trooper is treating Ms. Hansen, It could also implicate violations of civil rights under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and potentially 42 U.S.C. Section 1983, which addresses discrimination and the deprivation of civil rights under color of law. 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 states, "Every person who, under color of any statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, or usage of any state or territory or the District of Columbia, subjects or causes to be subjected, any citizen of the United States or other person within the jurisdiction thereof, to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the Constitution and laws, shall be liable to the party injured in an action at law, suit in equity, or other proper proceeding for redress, except that in any action brought against a judicial officer for an act or omission taken in such officer's judicial capacity, injunctive relief shall not be granted unless a declaratory decree was violated or declaratory relief was unavailable." These concerns underscore the importance of law enforcement officers operating within the bounds of the law and maintaining a professional demeanor free from bias and unnecessary escalation.
I don't feel comfortable giving you my information.
I understand that. There will be consequences if you make that choice.
And do you have ruling or anything that will show me those consequences other than your verbal affirmations?
Yeah.
Well, can I please see those?
Do you have a... It's harder for me to do on my phone. Do you have the little...
Pocketbook?
Yeah.
I've got traffic and criminal. Which one would you like?
Both, actually.
Okay. It's traffic.
Perfect.
Criminal.
Thank you. I guess I need to throw these in my bike bag next time I go on bike patrol.
It would be good to have all your materials for doing your job.
That's true.
I'm gonna grab my water bottle. Don't be worried.
Good for. Were you with her? Or you just passed by? Or do you have to go to her house at all? And you're free to leave. You don't need that.
Yeah, so the first law that I'll draw your attention to, this is a violation law, but it's 811-295, failure to drive on right.
I'm familiar. I understand that this is a law. That's not what I'm contesting. I'm just asking.
You want to know how I have the authority to ask you for your information?
How you have the authority to ask for my information, and how you can dignify me being on this side of the road versus that side of the road.
Why do you say dignify? Because that's
Or
not...
not dignify. I mean more. What is the difference? Like, how can you tell that I was on this side of the road versus that side of the road?
My
Do you have
visual
video
observations.
footage?
My visual observations. And the court has
So-
upheld that officers' visual
This is what I'm
observations...
stating, though. You're making your observations based on this median in this road.
Yes.
But this isn't a line in the road.
It
I
is
don't
a line in the road. It's a
I don't
physical line.
It's a line in the road, but I don't recognize this as the median. So
Okay,
you're trying
well-
to say that this is the
Ma'am,
right side of the road
I can't
one
fix
way or
all of
another.
your belief systems. I mean,
My belief systems. I'm
Yeah.
just articulating the situation to you.
no, you're articulating your interpretation, which is nonsensical. That's clearly the middle of the road as...
The middle of the road, this whole slab and this slab are about equal length. There's a whole
This-
extra section here. The
this
middle
is-
of the road is right here.
No, it's not, ma'am. Please.
I can see down the whole road right in the middle.
All right, please go stand back
So
on the
I
curb.
think that this is what I'm trying to articulate. You have
I
a
follow
difference of me being on the side of the road.
Okay.
There aren't lines here.
I understand what
I
you're saying.
believe, in my own experience as a
Yeah.
citizen,
I
and
understand
as
what
a
you're
valid
saying.
person in this situation, I was on, as you mentioned, the right side of the road.
Okay.
The right side of this line
Okay.
that you're
I
marking as the middle.
understand what you're
So
saying.
that's what I'm trying to articulate to you.
Okay.
If interfering,
That's what I was thinking.
should be highlighted.
It's interfering, right? Ultimately.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't believe it's wrong
So
for me to ask
let
you
me tell you
for
the statute
information.
that's going to lead to your arrest if you don't comply, okay?
You're going to arrest me for
I am.
asking for information?
I'm going to arrest you for failing to comply if you don't. So
How am I failing to comply if I'm just asking for information,
hold on, no,
sir?
you've asked me to tell you how I can do this, so I'm going to do that. Do you want to hear or not?
I would love to hear, yes. That's the whole point of me standing here.
Okay, great. So let's do that. It's called interfering, and I'm going to give you the definition of it.
There's going to be three different laws. It's going to be failure to provide info in connection with the stop, failure to provide info in connection with an arrest warrant, and interfering.
But you're not understanding the principle of the situation. The principle
I
of the
am,
situation.
because he told you he was going to give you a citation. Now
No,
you're refusing to
initially he
provide-
mentioned that he was going to give a warning, and when I asked for information,
But because you wouldn't
when I
comply,
asked, can I please finish my sentence?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I asked for information stating, why do you need my information in order to give me a warning, you mentioned that that was the rule and that was the law, and I asked you to provide me that rule and that law, and you're still looking to do so. So all I am doing is asking, why do I have to give you my information right in this
And
moment?
I'm trying
if
to tell
you're
you
only
that.
trying to give me a warning in the first place.
I'm not trying to give you a warning any longer. I've clarified that. Your
You've
lack of
clarified this later in the
cooperation,
situation.
your lack of cooperation has made it clear to me that a warning
am I
will
not
not suffice
cooperating?
to change your behavior.
Can you define what not cooperation is?
He said it best, passive resistance, which is
So
what you're
about
giving.
so can you define passive resistance for me a little bit better?
What you're doing is the dictionary definition.
So passive resistance is me articulating my
No, it's arguing with me when I've given you a lawful order and you've refused to comply with it.
I don't believe that I'm trying to refuse you, sir. I'm just asking for
If
you
you
to
weren't
give me better
refusing me, I
information.
would already have your ID, you'd already be down the road.
I think that refusal and submission are different.
A person commits the crime of interfering with a peace officer or parole or probation officer if the person, knowing that another person is a peace officer or parole officer, as defined in ORS, intentionally acts in a manner that prevents or attempts to prevent a peace officer or parole officer from performing the lawful duties of the office with regards to another person.
You are the one that are preventing yourself. You don't even have these books in your bag. I am not the one preventing you. You are the preventing
Refuses
yourself.
to
I am
obey.
asking you for information. You are preventing yourself from having success in the
So,
situation by not being able to
Basically
provide
at that
me.
point, unless, so here's where it's at right now. You have an opportunity at this moment to give me your identification and you can have a citation and you can leave. If you fail to do that, I'm going to arrest you at this point. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You are going to arrest me
Yes.
for not giving you information.
Correct.
When I was asking why
Yes.
you needed my information.
Yes. So I would like to get you to cooperate and give me your identification willingly. If you refuse to do that, you are under arrest.
And
Do you
what-
understand?
I would like to have some more clarification on
There's
this.
not going to be more clarification. I need a yes or a no from you. I need you to either give me your identification now or you're going to be placed under arrest. Which do you want to do?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, you're under arrest.
I don't answer questions.
Stop!
Stop! Stop! Stop! Stop!
Okay, you are under arrest.
831, send us more. Stop.
Hey,
Stop.
she's
Get
not,
back now.
She's not complying.
Can
Okay,
you please get off of
roll
me?
onto your stomach.
Hey, I will comply. I need both of you to get off of
roll.
me.
That's not going to happen. Roll on
I
your
need both
stomach.
of you to get off of me.
Roll.
I need you to get off of me.
Roll on your stomach.
Stop.
I need you. I'm not moving.
Roll
I'm
on
not
your stomach.
moving. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm not
Place
moving.
your hand behind your back.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving. They say I'm resisting. I'm not
You're-
moving.
Just stay still. You're fine. Stay still. All right. You're under arrest for interfering with a peace officer. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to an attorney, to have him or her in present with you during questioning.
You want hobbles?
No. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questions are asked. If you do choose to make a statement, you can stop talking at any time. Do you understand your rights?
I appreciate it.
I don't answer questions.
Okay, that's fine.
It is now apparent that the officer's actions, from the outset, seemed aimed at compelling Miss Hansen to commit an offense that would justify her arrest. The initiation of an unlawful stop, followed by the unjust escalation of the situation, strongly suggests that this was not merely about enforcing traffic laws, but potentially a case of racial profiling. The officer's strategy to provoke an infraction where none existed initially underlines the seriousness of this misconduct. This conduct could violate various legal standards, including those intended to protect against discriminatory practices and ensure fair treatment under the law.
Okay, good. I think we'll just wait for that then. Keep her here.
I just have a question.
Okay, not right now, okay?
That's a negative.
We'll get someone to answer your questions in a minute, all right? 2424. Wow, this radio. 2424. One in custody for interfering with a peace officer.
May I sit up?
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it. Here, we're gonna help you so you don't.
I don't need your help. I can sit up
Stop.
myself.
Stop.
I asked to sit up by
Stop,
myself.
or you're not sitting up.
Please let me sit up by myself. I would rather lay down. I would rather lay down.
Hey,
I would rather lay
Put her
down.
prone.
I would rather lay down.
Stop.
Please let me sit up by myself.
No.
Please let me sit up by myself. I will sit on the
No.
curb. Please let me sit up by myself. I will sit
No.
on the curb.
No, you will not. You'll stay just like this. You understand?
I don't answer questions. Please let me sit on the sill of the curb.
We are being gentle. She's not.
Please let me sit up on the curb.
Please.
Sir, can you
Watch your
please
hands.
stop
I'm
touching
gonna
me?
go grab this.
Please stop touching me. You're making me uncomfortable. Please stop touching me.
You don't get to tell.
Please stop touching me. Am I resisting you, sir?
No.
Please stop touching me.
Okay, stay where you are then.
May I sit up?
No, you may not.
Can we talk to her?
No, you may not.
Yes, you can.
No, you may not.
I am a human. I'm allowed to speak.
You're under arrest right now.
I'm allowed to speak.
You stay back, all right?
I'm not doing anything.
Stay back or you're going to get arrested
I
also.
need assistance. I need help. Can you call my mother?
Someone else is going to call this number.
It's unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
I agree. Stay back.
I'm making a phone call.
Stay back. You can make a phone call from over there. Get over there now. You don't have a right to insert yourself into this.
Keep them back. They keep crowding in.
More of a concern on this side.
Please send her a video or something.
Nope.
Oh, man.
No, I just don't want you getting in their faces.
Oh wait, it's
You stay with them.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Okay.
I haven't even identified this person yet.
May I sit up?
No, I want you to stay like that.
I'm really glad that I get to do everything that you want, rather than the things that are a part of the law.
You're now under arrest, so your rights are a little bit limited at this moment as far as your freedom.
My freedom wasn't in violation until you decided so.
I don't know what that means.
Clearly.
Yeah, we do need.
What's up?
No, we do need you, yes.
May I sit up?
No, you may not. Oh, man. Hi. I haven't identified her. That's the whole reason we're in handcuffs, is refusing to provide identification on a stop bicycle. And she's very litigiously oriented.
Watch your cuffs too. I put them on very loose because I didn't want to hurt her wrists.
May I sit up?
Last time she sat up, she was trying to do her own thing.
May I please sit up?
So,
I wasn't trying to do anything. All I asked was that I wanted to sit up. And then when I and they were throwing me up, I asked to lay down, and then they laid me down. So I'd just like to sit up on my own.
okay. So, ma'am, I'm Officer Larkin of Corvallis Police. Just so you know, I'm recording in contact.
She's being searched and transferred.
So I understand that at this point,
May I
what
sit
I'm
up to see you? This is reasonable.
sure we can sit you up if you're gonna be
I don't
cooperative.
need
Okay.
help. I can do it myself.
Okay. Hi. So my understanding of what needs to happen now is that we need to search you and then we're gonna transport you.
I don't feel comfortable with you searching me.
Well, at this point, it's not optional. Okay. So you're gonna be searched. I'm a female officer. That's why I'm being.
I don't think that makes it any better.
Okay. I'm gonna search you anyway. Okay. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Would you like me to stand up?
I would
Please
like you
don't
to
touch
stand up.
me. Oh, please don't touch me.
I'm going
Sir.
to put you. You're on.
I can stand up on my own. I don't need assistance.
So my patrol car's over here. We're gonna walk over down to my patrol car. Okay.
Will you please unhandle me while you're carrying? Well, I can walk kindly. Please just don't handle me.
You're in custody, so you're not gonna walk on your own. Okay. I would like this to go cooperatively. I don't want anything to happen. Okay.
This is
So we're gonna walk down
This
here
is
to my
not going
patrol car.
cooperative from the beginning. Then. This has not been cooperative from the
Okay,
beginning.
so
The
I
officer
wasn't here for the beginning.
has been difficult from the
I'm
beginning.
here now.
I've been cooperative the
And
whole
the
time.
contact that I'm having with you, I would like for us to work together. Okay.
I understand you. Okay. I would like to work with you. Okay.
Is there anyone I can ask questions about this?
Sure.
He said it.
Ms. Hansen was initially charged with interfering with a police officer and resisting arrest. Notably, she was not charged with the original alleged traffic infraction that purportedly justified the stop. Upon reviewing the OSP body camera footage, Benton County District Attorney John Haroldson decided not to pursue any charges against Hansen, indicating a lack of sufficient evidence or legal basis for the charges. Furthermore, the NAACP has condemned the arrest as inhumane and unlawful. The organization has called for the Oregon State Police and the Corvallis Police Department to issue an apology to Ms. Hansen. It is also advocating for the withdrawal of all charges against her. In addition, the NAACP has requested that university officials provide support to Ms. Hansen and for city leaders to engage in discussions with the Corvallis NAACP branch to address and prevent such incidents in the future. Next, in September 2015, Philip Turner, a 27-year-old part-time college student known for conducting First Amendment audits, chose to videotape the Fort Worth Police Department from across the street. While filming, he was approached by officers Reynolds and Diaz. The incident was recorded on both Turner's own camera and the body cameras worn by the officers. this moment, Mr. Turner, who has been filming while walking down the street, is approached by Officers Reynolds and Diaz. They exit their parked police cruiser and begin to walk towards him.
Sir, do you have any ID? Yes, no, maybe? Do you have any ID, sir?
Am I being detained?
For investigation. With everything that's going on in this world, and this, especially in light of what's going on, we have the right and authority to know who's walking around our facilities.
At this juncture, the officers assert that they have a right to know Mr. Turner's identity and demand that he provide his ID because he is under investigation for filming outside the department building. It's important to clarify a couple of points here. Firstly, unless you are driving, Texas Penal Code 38.02 specifies that you are only required to identify yourself if you are under arrest, not simply detained. The code states, A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. B. A person commits an offense if he intentionally gives a false or fictitious name, residence address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has 1. Lawfully arrested the person, 2. Lawfully detained the person, or 3. Requested the information from a person that the peace officer has good cause to believe is a witness to a criminal offense. B. Tac 1. A person commits an offense if the person 1. is an operator of a motor vehicle as defined by section 32.34, who is lawfully detained by a peace officer for an alleged violation of a law. Moreover, Mr. Turner's act of recording the police department does not constitute an offense since it is protected under his First Amendment rights. As we discussed before, the First Amendment provides that Congress make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise. It protects freedom of speech, the press, assembly, and the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
No, that's incorrect.
Okay, do you have your ID? Are you refusing to ID yourself? Yes or no?
What happens if I don't ID myself?
No? Then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay. But you have to tell me what happens if I don't ID myself.
No, I don't. Okay. I'm not required to tell you that. Are you, yes or no? Are you refusing to ID yourself or not?
Once again, what crime have I committed?
I've already explained that to you. I don't need to explain it to you again. Are you or are you not going to identify yourself?
Are you familiar with Texas Penal Code 38.02?
Answer my question. I get to answer the questions here. It's my investigation, not yours.
I'm not going to ID myself.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Wait, what are you doing?
Let go.
At this moment, the officer is directly questioned about Texas Penal Code 38.02, which pertains to the requirement to provide identification, as previously discussed. In response, the officer becomes noticeably hostile and decides to arrest Mr. Turner. As a result, Mr. Turner places his camera on the ground, causing a loss of visual from his perspective. We will now switch to the footage captured by Officer Reynolds' body camera to continue observing the incident.
Answer my question. I get to answer the questions here. It's my investigation, not yours. Okay. All right. Go. Stand it down. Let go. Put your hands behind your back. This is what happens when you refuse to ID yourself. Put your hands behind your back. This is what happens when you refuse to ID yourself. Nope. Just relax. All we gotta do is ID. Yep, absolutely. Give us just a minute. West 112, go ahead.
Are you by chance in the parking lot with somebody that was videotaping, officer?
Yes, I am. Having detained at the time.
General. Any other traffic units have an auto ped 4800 Southfield?
West 112, can you start a supervisor?
I'm handcuffed. Why are you bending my wrist?
National Secretary Supervisor.
Can you? I'm handcuffed. There's nothing
So what is?
to do.
Who are you?
At this stage, the officers have wrongfully arrested Mr. Turner, thereby violating his Fourth Amendment rights, which protect individuals from unreasonable and unlawful searches and seizures. This action is highly inappropriate and breaches fundamental constitutional protections. At this moment, Mr. Turner has been confined in the backseat of a parked police cruiser without air conditioning. The backseat compartment is enclosed and all windows remained up. Disturbingly, the body camera is inexplicably turned off, and Mr. Turner's pleas and cries about being unable to breathe are disregarded by the officers. He remains in this condition for over 5 minutes until a supervisor arrives and releases him. Throughout this ordeal, Mr. Turner maintains his refusal to provide identification. This incident underscores a serious violation of Mr. Turner's constitutionally protected rights, specifically infringing on his Eighth Amendment rights, which safeguard against cruel and unusual punishment while in custody. The Eighth Amendment explicitly states, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted.
Oh, let's dump it down a little bit.
Yeah, I've got action. If I can just get one more photo, please, sir.
You refuse to identify yourself. I hope you're not accredited by seller. So I was handcuffed, put in the back of a patrol car with the windows up for 5 minutes, sweating my butt off. Even though that I was put in handcuffs, the officer said that I didn't do anything wrong and I fully cooperated. If I ever step foot on the property, look at that.
In February 2017, the Federal Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals referenced Mr. Turner's case to definitively affirm that videotaping or filming police activities is a First Amendment protected activity. Justice Jock Weiner articulated the importance of this right, stating, "Filming the police contributes to the public's ability to hold the police accountable, ensure that police officers are not abusing their power, and make informed decisions about police policy. Protecting the right to film the police promotes First Amendment principles." This decision underscored the constitutional protection of recording police in the interest of public oversight and accountability. On May 16, 2022, officers from the Colorado Springs Police Department responded to a report of a stolen vehicle spotted at a local gas station. Upon their arrival, they attempted to encircle the vehicle operated by Mr. Jacob Root. However, he managed to evade capture by ramming a police cruiser and fleeing the scene. Shortly after, Mr. Root abandoned his vehicle and continued his escape on foot. In Colorado, the severity of charges for motor vehicle theft does not depend on the value of the vehicle. The law states the penalties for motor vehicle theft are no longer based on the value of the vehicle or vehicle stolen. The act makes motor vehicle theft in the first degree a Class 3 felony, motor vehicle theft in the second degree a Class 4 felony, and motor vehicle theft in the third degree a Class 5 felony. This incident was recorded on the body camera worn by Officer Comstock.
Police canine, stop! Police canine, stop! You're gonna get bit! You're gonna get bit! Get on the ground! Go. Get your hands out! Get your hands out! Get your hands out!
Get your arm up.
Get your hands out. I got cuffs.
Canine 8, can you get medical started?
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
At this point, Officer Comstock locates Mr. Root and initiates a foot chase. It's crucial to highlight that Officer Comstock does not adhere to the prescribed guidelines in his department's use of force manual. According to the manual, an officer must issue a verbal warning before deploying a taser on a suspect. More critically, it is explicitly stated that an officer should not deploy a taser when a suspect is on an elevation due to the potential for serious injury. Unfortunately, the consequences of deviating from these guidelines are starkly evident in this incident. Mr. Root falls face first onto the road after being tased, resulting in a pool of blood forming around his head while he expresses his pain and repeatedly apologizes.
Don't move.
Oh. I can't move. Is that normal?
After being tased, kind of.
Alright, can you flip me over?
We will. Give us 1 second. You got probes in your back, so we can't flip you all the way on your back, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to flip you on your left side. Don't try and pull away, okay? Alright, on your left side. 1, 2, 3.
I just want to look at your head, okay? Let's set him up on the curb.
Yeah,
Let's get him upright.
Alright,
we're going to try to sit you up on your butt.
We're going to sit you on your butt.
Ready? Going out. Oh my god. Going out the head. There you go. My head's split wide open, guys. I know. Watch. Can you get your leg out from under you? No.
I got him.
Oh my god. I think I'm dying,
You got a med kit or something?
Yeah. Do you have a med kit?
It is deeply alarming to witness Mr. Root expressing his inability to move, questioning if this is normal. While a female officer reassures him that it is, the concerned expressions on the other officers' faces suggest otherwise, indicating that they recognize the severity of Officer Comstock's error. Unbeknownst to them at that moment, Mr. Root has sustained a broken neck, resulting in permanent paralysis from the neck down. This incident may involve breaches of Colorado state law concerning the use of excessive force by law enforcement. Specifically, Colorado Revised Statute 18-8-803 requires that peace officers use only the physical force reasonably necessary to effect an arrest or to prevent escape, emphasizing that excessive force beyond what is reasonable under the circumstances is unlawful. It stipulates, subject to the provisions of Section 18-1-707, a peace officer who uses excessive force in pursuance of such officer's law enforcement duties shall be subject to the criminal laws of this state to the same degree as any other citizen, including the provisions of Part 1 of Article 3 of this title concerning homicide and related offenses, and the provisions of Part 2 of said Article 3 concerning assaults. 2. As used in this section, excessive force means physical force that exceeds the degree of physical force permitted pursuant to Section 18-1-707. The use of excessive force shall be presumed when a peace officer continues to apply physical force in excess of the force permitted by Section 18-1-707 to a person who has been rendered incapable of resisting arrest.
Get them coming, code 3. Thank you.
I was just trailing DTA. And I was like, oh, this is so cool.
Did he fall?
No, I tased him.
Well,
I was worried he was going to...
transmissions came in weird because they were back there. They're like, what? I'm like,
well, as we walk up to the door, he saw us and started running towards me.
Okay.
Then he ran this way, and they tried to tase him back there.
Okay.
And then I'm yelling, please, Kanan, you're going to get bit. And then I didn't want him to get hit by traffic.
We're good. Oh.
And then
Let me see if
I tased him. It seemed like it was like right here. And then it took a second for it to...
He's got a big gash to the top. So what are my charges? You were in a stolen car, you ran the cruiser, you ran from the police. Got caught
all the above.
I didn't know the car was stolen.
Well, then why'd you ram a cop car?
You were driving it like it was stolen.
I'm
I'm gonna go get my ride and pull it down here. Do we? Yeah, I'll make sure. I'm going up there. I'll make sure yours is locked. Pull it down.
2 years following the incident, Mr. Root has now initiated a $100 million lawsuit against Colorado police officer Comstock. Daniels, representing Mr. Root, articulated the violations committed. You cannot shoot a person in an elevated state. You cannot shoot a person without warning using a taser, he stated. He didn't warn him and shot him in the back, causing him to fall. The Colorado Springs Police Department use of force policy explicitly states that officers should not deploy a taser when a person is in an elevated position or in a location where a fall could result in significant injury or death, unless there is supervisory approval or an urgent situation warrants it. Furthermore, the policy mandates that officers provide a clear, verbal warning before employing force. CSPD has acknowledged that it conducts internal reviews of all uses of force. A spokesperson indicated that the department is currently examining internal documents and the facts surrounding the incident and has chosen not to comment on the ongoing lawsuit at this time. They also confirmed that Officer Comstock remains employed with the department and is considered to be in good standing. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter.